Alright, welcome to MildlyBadDrivers episode number 2. Same concept as what I changed for Idiots in Cars. We're gonna do 30 minutes and I'm gonna start with the first one. I probably, hold on. I probably should have paid more attention. Oh, they tried to bail, didn't they? They drove off, another car took after them and got their plate. So there was an accident, we're putting the sound on, we're making it bigger, we're going to the 0 point, and then we start. Oh! Dude! Let's watch it again. So here, he could get behind the car and just because there was a dotted line, and then here it's a full line, but notice how all the panels on that car aren't correct. What's wrong with that car? And then oh, that didn't, there was a little bit of a struggle there. And they drove off. Signal and instant yank on the wheel. I had my signal on. Yeah. It's like they slowed down specifically to hit you. It gets worse each time I watch it. Yeah, I hadn't even thought of that, but yeah, probably would have been annoyed, but easier to lightly brake and let them in at speed than what happened here. Yeah, but I mean, start with turning on your turn signal, know where you're going, maybe if possible. But I mean, tourists aren't driving bad cars like that. So this is I mean, you could have done better. Mildly bad, and this is kind of an idiot, I would say. Mirrors do not exist. I had someone do that to me, and they just keep coming. I'm like, maybe they're deaf, literally. Some people just do not give a thing about anyone else on earth but themselves. I see you've met one of them. Yep, okay, good. So the sound is on, we're making it bigger, we're gonna play. There's no sound. We're just going, okay, this is, let me say something else. There's space on the left side. Why aren't you passing him on the left side? Or her? And just keep going to the right, yep. I mean, this is why the rule that you can't pass on the right side exists. It's because people are not paying as much attention to the right side than on the left. And so if you weren't here, but you were over there, nothing would have happened. Or if you're going to, if you stay here, it's also good because they're driving off, they're coming here, and it's okay. Or if you're going to pass them, speed up, go. But this, yeah, we're gonna do it, we're not gonna do it, I'm gonna hang here, actually you're in the blind spot probably, or something like that. Yeah. Okay, mildly bad. Okay, it's a good one. It's a good one. Zipper merging gone wrong. We're going 34 miles. Who needs to hear this, but only once in the wrong are the ones swerving into a legitimate lane to block traffic. Okay, we'll have to see what's happening. Okay, so there's 3 lanes, and 2 of the lanes are full of cars. You're not the police, you do not have to police. You two are not the police, you do not have to police the other cars. So we're gonna stay here now? Is that the rest of the video, or there's maybe another car coming? But you're not the police. If you don't want cars to pass because this lane is empty, go on the lane yourself. Go drive. Don't stop the other cars from going. Now, I have no answer to why there seems to be a 3rd lane that's empty. Although I have to say a little bit later, there's a white line and there is no 3rd lane. Here already there is no 3rd lane. But while we're driving here, it's a dotted line. And especially here. So this must be an on-ramp or something then, maybe. And there was something else I was going to think. We can't really see because this car is in the way, but I mean, this empty road, you gotta use it. Oh yeah. But since the police sky, the opposite houses and the line of railings. Having finished his scrutiny, he proceeded slowly down the path, or rather down the fringe of grass which flanked. His eyes. Don't make noise, I'm listening to the guy talking. You know, he was walking on the path, or rather the fringe of grass. And then I couldn't hear it. Many marks and footsteps on the wet, clayey soil, but since the police had been coming and going over it, I was unable to see how my companion could hope to learn anything from it. Still, I had had such extraordinary evidence of the quickness of his perceptive faculties that I had no doubt that he could see a great deal which was hidden from me. At the door of the house, we were met by a tall, white-faced, flaxen-haired man with a notebook in his hand, who rushed forward and wrung my companion's hand with effusion. Why'd he have a notepad? It is indeed kind of you to come, he said. I have everything left Oh. So it's interesting. They were listening to an audiobook. I turn now. Good luck, everybody else. Yeah, stop. Switch on the sound. Make it bigger. And 522, 1534. Oh! Wait, fuck you! Yeah, and the one that did it is gone. You swerved into traffic. So the advice here is, there's traffic coming from the other side. Do not go out of your lane. Brake as hard as you can. But if you're hitting the car, then you have to hit him. not somebody else. And that's what happened.
Wait, fuck you!
Got really lucky I didn't get in a head-on collision with that other car. We just tapped bumpers and broke my mirror. I slammed on the brakes, but I was about to crash into the dick. How do you know his name is Richard? Who turned in front of me, so I tried to get around him. It was probably a stupid move. It's a logical move, but you shouldn't do it. But I much rather prefer the slight mirror damage over whatever I would have sustained from T-boning the asshole. Well, you would have been T-boning the passenger side, so... Too bad the dashcam isn't high enough quality to get the plates. You are definitely not going 30 miles per hour. If the line markers for turn lane are standard, he passes 7.5 in 1 second. Convert that to mph and he would be doing 61 in a 30 zone. Turning car still has responsibility to make sure they can turn safely, but I blame them less for not realizing opposing traffic is doubling the speed limit. I'm not sure your measurements are correct, but it doesn't say the speed. It doesn't say the speed on the screen. That is too bad. Is there possible legal consequences for this? I learn English. Good, very. I mean, but then maybe it's a link to another Reddit. So I'll open this up. Let's wait. We'll enable sound, make it bigger. Let's play.
Ding, ding.
This belongs in Idiots in Cars. Turn off the big light! It didn't get turned off. So you fought the fight. You fought the fight. No, you started the fight, and then halfway you said, "Okay, I'm gonna go somewhere." And they're gonna drive on with the biggest light ever possible. Mine too, front row seats to the cows, and I'm not even mad. And he seems to be clueless even after that. They're like, why is this guy being a jerk? Well, because you were being a jerk. Poor first truck driver. Collateral damage. The power of the sun in the palm of my hand. Turn off your high beams. The only time I turn mine on is for jerks like these. This video made me feel so good. If the only time you turn them on is people are being annoying, either you drive in the city alone only, or your beam angle is too high in the first place, which makes you just as bad as people driving with high beams around others. Yeah, so you can use them on a road where there's nothing and no cars coming from the other side, and then you can use the high beams because you can literally you can light up the world. But this is... people who use their brights at all times suck. wanted to teach them a lesson which they did not learn. This is a huge problem in China. At least 50% of night drivers have their high beams on. Yes, there are. Had an old Subaru Brat that I added some roof lights. Was driving, I thought somebody else had their brights on, so I turned on my brights, and then they turned on theirs. Then I turned on my brand new roof lights, and they turned on their roof lights, only theirs were red and blue. I got a decent screaming at and a ticket for about 150 for defective vehicle, if I remember correctly. But I was told he could have written me one for reckless driving. Yeah. But he was, 21. I thought he was 19 or something. Okay. Well, I'm not sure if there is a legal consequence for this. Bus driver had no idea how a roundabout works. Okay, so we're going back. We'll turn off this. We'll turn on the sound. We'll make it bigger, and then we'll push the play button. But there is no sound anyway. The bus driver. What? Pedal heads. Bike, swim, soccer classes. Proudly operated by Coast Mountain Bus Company Limited. You know, what's missing is the little triangles, the shark teeth, so that you have to yield, but then has the nerve to turn into a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. Like a always stop sign. This is wrong. Speeding, check. Illegal overtake, check. Cop there at the right time, winner. Summarize complete story in one sentence. Okay, so it's 7:56. This seems to be evening, by the way. But 6:26, it couldn't be evening. Then the sun would be higher. So it's morning. Okay, let's go. Turn on the sound, but there is no sound. The camera suddenly got better. Yep. I don't mind cars using shoulders to pass. I don't care. Just drive on. But then there's an unemployed policeman in the bushes. Yeah. It could be quite a bit of a ticket. Speeding, check. Illegal over. You mean this is a list? Speeding, check. Illegal overtake, check. Cop there at the right time, check. Let me just take a sip from this glass of sweet justice. I love the brake lights coming on just after the pass. You can see the exact moment they realized they were effed. It was interesting The car ahead of the white pickup in front of me was a sheriff. So initially I was hoping that he had seen it in his mirror, but he then thought he probably didn't. So I was starting to be disappointed, but then the motorcycle appeared. The offender braked because he saw the sheriff or the motorcycle, or maybe both. Sheriff. Where's the front camera? Here's the front camera. So this is... How do you know it's a sheriff? Well, you were driving here and you saw him, but from this I couldn't see that. But you know, I really don't care. There's a lane there that's completely empty. I don't see why you couldn't drive there. It's a perfectly good lane. There's just a white line here. So really, I really don't care. And if he keeps going faster than the other traffic, it's good as well, because he's driving off into the distance. That's what other cars should try to do. Let's wait. To squeeze a biker off the road without compromise. You're not winning this. What are we doing?
The fuck are you doing?
Well, I'm trying to get past you because you're slowing me down.
Slowing you down?
Yeah.
It's fucking traffic.
I know.
Fucking mad.
There's no need to hit
You
him.
wanna fucking apologise, or you want another one?
I'll go for another one, mate. Go on.
You want another fucking one, yeah? Fucking cunt.
Yeah, write down the number plate and report him. He thinks he's the good one. You're not, guy. You're not. Van tries a dangerous pass on biker. It's true, the pass was dangerous. But then you tabled the turns. You shouldn't have passed in the first. You shouldn't have tried to pass because he was just driving here. You know, he was just riding here. It was okay. But then when we're here, just let him go. And certainly do not stop to go and hit him. It simply goes against the subreddit rules because very few seem to be able to grasp this concept, but it's okay. This post will remain locked. Whether or not this post should be considered just mildly bad driving from both people in the... I am not sure. I have approved it for the time being, but moderators... Okay, it's mildly bad driving. It just... The white car shouldn't have done that, but he tried to pass. Okay, so that's mildly bad. But the biker is an idiot. Either you go or you let him pass. But you do not need to stop him and then go hit him in the face. So I would say write down the number plate. He threatened me, he hit me twice. Go to the police and tell them he was hitting me. And then if you happen upon this video, take it with you. You were being stupid. That's okay. He was hitting you. 2 vehicles crashed without touching each other in China. Okay, so I have a problem with videos from places like China. It's not here. And there could be more to the scene that we just do not understand. But okay, well, let's have a look. What happened? So this one is easy. He brakes too hard. It's a three-wheeled vehicle. He just topples over. Up. There we go. Alright. That's the end of it. He fell. You know, get out. Put it back right. It's China. Doesn't matter. But then the truck is coming. His bright lights, by the way. Brakes, but has a very heavy load, which seems to be 2 trailers. I hate the auto maximize. And now we're going... Yeah. Small car self-crashed, red truck thingy in process of transporting into Optimus. Yeah. Bow before King Tuk Tuk. Didn't the small vehicle faint? Alright, move to the city, they said. It will be fun, they said. City. Headed home from work today. This exit from eastbound I-290 to southbound I-90 eastbound I-94 is always crazy. People are always trying to cut in line at the last second or go around the other side. I love the view of downtown Chicago. Okay, this tells me where it is. But I can't enjoy it with all this vehicular pushing and shoving. I want to be nice, but you give an inch and everyone wants to bully their way past you. I let one person in, it's like everyone else smells blood in the water and tries to get past me. You can already see at the beginning that the red Mercedes, is trying to force his way into a spot that doesn't exist. Mercedes isn't such a difficult word that you can't write it. But that may be the European in me talking, but this is a red Mercedes. And this seems to be an Opel or maybe an Acura that has half the car missing. Yep. Row 1. Drive on! Drive on! You're leaving a gap! Don't leave a gap and don't open it. Okay. Don't worry, you will learn. Yeah, don't worry, you will learn. Also, you can go to the right. They're going faster. I'm not sure if that's an option, but... yeah. Let them queue up and then zipper. Yeah, you're gonna have to leave one. You're gonna have to let one go, but let them queue up. This is good. By the way, an AMG Mercedes with 4 exhausts looks good. Okay, so I do think you recently moved to the city. And there goes the signal. I do think you recently moved to the city because you can't leave a gap. Right? Letting the red one merge is good. So it starts off very good. Let's turn the sound down now because there's nothing but music. So this is, although there's a straight line, so he can't go into the line anymore anyway. It's too late already. And so are all the other cars. But this is a gap for a car. Don't do that. I commuted to Brussels for 19 years. This, what you're doing now, is leaving a gap for a car. You're leaving a gap. Close the gap. Close the gap. Close the gap. You're leaving a gap. Close the gap. Close the gap. Close the gap. A car fits in between. Close the gap. It's you doing it. Close the gap. No, close the gap. Come on. Come on, closer. More. More. You're leaving a gap. Alright, so in Paris or Brussels and the other car on the other lane, which we're seeing here, this is also a huge gap. If you're driving in cities like Brussels, Paris, or maybe in Italy, these are gaps for cars. So you're actually inviting a car to go in between. I don't know how it is in Chicago, but if you're coming to Europe, those are gaps. A car is going to be coming in between. They're going to worm their way in. As I did with the idiots in cars, we'll do one more after the signal, because if only there was a line that told people where to stop. Okay, so I've said this before. In Europe, you have to stop at the light. The light will be here, right next to the line. These cars are stopped before the light. They can see the light perfectly. That's just perfect. They can see the light. So when it turns green, they can drive. But they're past the line. If the light is here next to the light, next to the line, if you drive past the line, you can't see the light anymore. So when are you going to go? How do you know it's green? So I would advise America to change this setup, take the lights away from there, and just put it here. And then these guys will learn that they have to stop before the line, not after the line, so that they can see the light. So if you're ever coming to Europe and you wonder why the light is over here, it's because it forces you to stop before the line. It's actually simple. Makes a straight lane of a left turn, takes the worst option. Wait, this is interesting. So we're gonna do one more. Hold on. This is my own footage recorded in my 07 Element back in 2024 in McKinley, Texas. Having made a post recently of a mildly bad driver near this very intersection reminded me that I have this clip too. Driver tries to go left in what he finds out is not a turn lane. You can see the arrows at the start of on the sign above the diverging diamond. I started to give him space, expect him to cut in, but he goes for broke and decides to go the wrong way down El Dorado Parkway instead. I assume we're talking about the white car. Because he's wrong. And then he sees a line on the floor and does and you know, he has a what do you call a remorque. What's this thing called? A trailer. Has a trailer with him, and then yeah, so this is gonna be interesting with 2 motorcycles. Alright, but that's it for this time. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.